Really? Is what Jesus telling us what he actually wants us to do? I mean, come on. How realistic is this? How realistic is what Jesus is calling us to do today? Love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you. Pray for those who mistreat you. Can Jesus actually mean this? Is this what Jesus actually wants us to do? Because it makes no sense. It goes against everything that the world tells us is necessary for us to do, to get ahead, to do what we need to do to ensure our own well-being. This is just some ideal that Jesus really doesn't expect us to accomplish, right? Wrong. It's not an ideal. What Jesus speaks to us today is exactly what he expects from us. And how do I know that? All we have to do is look to the cross. As Jesus hangs on the cross, what does he do? What are the words that he speaks? Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they do. He seeks forgiveness for his enemies, even as they are brutally murdering him, as they are jeering at him, as they are abusing him. Jesus seeks what is best for them. He shows us this lived out. And yes, this is exactly what he expects from us. This is our standard. And if we do not achieve this standard, it is essentially a failure. We're very fortunate that we have the sacrament of confession. At least I am, because I will be honest, I seek and I strive to live this out. But I tell people, there is a reason I go to confession as often as I do. I don't always reach the standard, but this is what I am striving for. Because it's not an ideal. It is God's expectation for us. Because we live in a world that seeks to divide us. And as Christians, there is only one division. And one division only, between ourselves and those who do not believe in Jesus. But that division is not one of partition that sets us apart from us, but rather it is a division that calls us to heal that breach and to bring others to Christ. And the only way we can do that is living out this standard that Jesus calls us to. Any other division that we create is by very nature sinful. Because every single person on this planet is our brother and sister. And we ourselves should have no enemy. Jesus didn't. Others may see us as the enemy. And in that, we may claim that title. But those are the ones that we are called to love, to do good, to bless, and to pray for. It's not an option. It's a requirement of Christian life. But we go even further. As Jesus tells us, we have no right to judge another person. We can judge their actions because all actions are objectively right or wrong. There is no subjective truth as far as Christian life is concerned because God alone determines what is right and wrong, not us. And so I do have a right to tell another person that what they are doing is wrong. But, this is an important but I do not have a right then to determine what kind of person they are, because I cannot read their heart. I cannot determine or discern why they are making the choice they are making. The choice may still be wrong. And I have a right again to call them out on that. But that's where our judgment stops. God and God alone can judge the person's heart. St. Paul even tells us that. When he says, I can't even judge myself. As we come here today and we listen to what Jesus is calling us to, it seems impossible. And in a sense it is, if we're trying to do it on our own. But that's why we have the sacrament of the Eucharist. That is why we have confession. That is why God gives us the grace necessary to be able to live out this life that he is calling us to. To recognize that we are called as Christians to break down all those divisions that the world creates. And let's be honest, we all fall into that trap. There's something wrong with that group, there's something wrong with this group, there's something wrong with that other group. We can create all the divisions we want. But we are called to treat others as God treats them, with love, compassion, and mercy. That's our golden rule. May we come then to take to heart what it is Jesus is calling us today to begin to truly seek to live it out. May we maybe even use this passage for Lent, which is not too far away. Maybe this is our call. Begin to look during this Lenten season, how am I living this out? How am I embracing this life that Christ is calling me to? Yes, the standard Jesus sets up today for us is hard and difficult. But so is the cross. He showed us the way by not just teaching us, but by living it. And he simply calls us to do the same.